Let's get into chatting with our featured guest today, Ashley Frasso. It's I better get it right here. I look up my notes. Candace Blair Group at Caldwell Banker.
There you go. It's a tongue twister.
It's a tongue twister. I've been getting a number of people coming in and chatting. They've got long company names. So Candace Blair Group at Caldwell Banker. So what is Candace Blair Group? What is the focus of what you're doing there?
We are a team of full-time real estate agents that love to help our clients and anybody with their primary investment, which is their home.
Primary investment.
Yes.
But you're in the Laguna Beach area, so don't you get second homes down there? Or nobody has a second home in Laguna.
But real estate is people's primary investment.
Gotcha. Okay, so I've already learned something. We're talking about primary investment being real estate as a whole.
Yes.
As opposed to primary home.
Yes.
Okay, so
Sorry.
I'm a little bit slow. I'm old. So tomorrow we do our millennial and old man segment. So I'm just getting warmed up for that. So I'm the old man in this one as well. So are you an investor?
I am. Yes.
Tell us your story, because you've got a really fascinating story.
Thanks. Yes. My husband and I started investing. We bought our first primary home, and it was the worst one on the block. And we put a lot of sweat equity into it, and we rolled it into our next house. And then we rolled it into some multifamilies that provided us the opportunity to travel with our kids around the United States for a year.
Wow.
Yeah.
So do you have those first properties?
You know what? I kick myself. That is my only regret in real estate, is that I sold those. I didn't know the financial planning or the lending opportunities that were out there that we could have kept them.
So you hit on a topic that I love a lot. Is planning.
Planning.
Right.
Yes.
And my guess is that you probably didn't know what you didn't know.
I didn't know what I didn't know. Yeah.
And most of us are that way. And it's great that you're out there now sharing. Do you share with people your age? Will people your age listen?
Yeah. I mean, they got to see our travels over the year, and everybody asked, how is this possible? How are you doing this? We got an early retirement for a year, and
wow.
And real estate funded it.
That's a pretty compelling story. So we've talked about that before on the program, is actually going back one step is buy that first home. It doesn't need to be the 4-bedroom, bath, white picket fence, pool.
No, it definitely.
Just get it.
Just get it. Get something.
And when you're using your as your primary, then you can probably get generally a very low down payment.
Yeah.
Or, right now we've got the down payment assistance program where most everybody got to qualify, can get down payment assistance with no money down, but get that, take the money out, especially in the last few years, you've seen a lot of appreciation.
Oh gosh. Yeah. Over from 17 to 20, we saw about 12. And then from 20 to 22, we saw 38% on average of appreciation in homes. And in Orange County, we saw even greater appreciation.
And you're in a beach community, so even if they go down, which what we've seen historically, number one, beach communities go down slower than any place else.
Yes.
And recover faster.
Yes.
Now, not all of us can afford to be in the beach communities, so that that's a great niche.
I say
be there.
Not everybody can afford it yet.
You're right. Something, you got to have a plan.
You got to have a plan. Yeah.
Right. So most people don't start out with that 4-bedroom house with a pool and white picket fence. But we're going to talk more with Ashley when we come back about her story, how she's done this, what she does. And then we might even talk to her about what do diplomas, diamonds, diapers, death, divorce, and defaults all have in common. Continuing our conversation, Ashley Frasso. I can't even read my own things here. Candace Blair Group at Caldwell Banker. We're chatting this morning about real estate. And it's fascinating because when I spoke with Ashley, I had no clue that Ashley's actually done what I've been evangelizing for years and years. Right? I was too old when I started doing this. Not be young like her. I was too old, right? I was always past that. But the concept of buy a house, get into the game. And then, when I was in school, we used to just talk about they had I don't know if they have these drills anymore. Roll. right? So you can roll the equity from one property into the next property, into the next property. And by the time you're 40, you may have 3, 4, 5 properties that all at one time were your primary residence that you got into with low down payments, and you're ready to retire. 40 years old. It's a
Yep.
game plan.
It's a game plan, and
So-
it's a wonderful game plan.
Are you helping? Now, do you have people that you're able to help? I mean, you're in Laguna. It's probably, you're probably one of the youngsters in Laguna, I'm guessing.
No, actually.
Really?
There is a young community in Laguna.
Because I would have thought that, just because, it's not like starter homes. You don't usually find a first-time home buyer.
No, this is not our starter home. But
Right.
we rolled homes into the Laguna community.
But basically what you're saying then, though, is there's other people that have done similar. If they're at that same age group.
Yep.
That's a great way of going. So what age are we too old to do this?
Never. You
Never.
are never too old. And it's
I like her already.
And it's always, people ask, when is the best time to buy in the market? And, nobody has a magic ball to see what the market's going to do. So the best time to get in the market is when you're financially ready.
You know something, though? Because I know some people that have gotten into the market, I share this frequently, maybe when you're not even financially ready. Right? There's people that stretch.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Top ramen and peanut butter sandwiches.
Right? I mean, because that's to get your goals.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, a doctor ends up having to go, working 18, 20 hours a day because they want to get to, whatever they're looking for in their profession.
Yep.
If you want to own that house, well, maybe you can't go to Starbucks every day.
Yeah. Oh, of course.
Right? Save an extra $300 a month.
500 maybe.
500, yeah, exactly. Right? So get started right away. Even though you're not financially ready. So now I kind of threw out here, Ashley. I want to find out where all these things come into.
Mm-hmm.
Diploma, diamonds, diapers, death, divorce, defaults. Hope you're not doing all of those.
Oh goodness.
We like the idea of the diploma. We like diamonds cost money, and diapers. So all of the diploma, diamonds, and diapers. Let's start with those.
Yeah, of course. So people see the market a little bottlenecked right now, but people's lives continue, and people graduate from college and they're looking for their first home. People get married just as your son did, and now they're looking for their first home, or maybe they're looking for their second home.
Right.
And diapers, now they've grown out of their first home and they're looking to spread their wings a little bit more.
So this is why people are buying homes.
Yep. And selling. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess if they listened to us just a little bit ago, they're buying a new home, but they're keeping the old one.
Yes, hopefully.
Right?
I mean, that's the game plan. But
because think about that. If you've got a home, and I know I have it in my note here somewhere that you told me already, and I'm a little slow, or maybe I'm a lot slow, that 22% over the last 3 years was appreciation. I know I got it here.
38%.
See, I told you I'm slow.
Yeah.
38%. There it is, right there.
Yep.
So think about that. If you bought a house for $500,000, you've probably got about $200,000 now in equity.
Yes.
Right? Take some of that equity out. You can buy another house.
Yeah. It's a great down payment.
Right? $200,000. I bet you can help somebody with a $200,000 down payment.
That is an amazing down payment.
Right?
Yes. 100%.
Or in some instances, what we've actually talked about, especially when you think about it, in Orange County, California, you can go to $1,080,000 with an FHA loan.
You can, yeah.
So that requires 3.5% down. So $1,080,000, 3.5. Can we do $1 million? Because my math is slow today. So that's right about $40,000 down on $1 million house.
Yes.
And we just showed you how to get $200,000 out of your existing property to buy $1 million house.
So you're paying about 20% down.
But even if we don't do that,
yeah.
Right. So let's take the $40,000 and buy the $1 million home that we're going to move into.
Yeah.
That leaves me $160,000. Can you help me find another home for $160,000 down for a rental?
100%. And that's a great down payment on a rental that will get you that 20% down and probably start cash flowing or breaking even.
So I've got the house that my starter home. I've got a rental, and I've got my own new primary.
Yep.
All because I followed a game plan.
Yep.
And now I've got probably somewhere in the range of $2.2 million worth of asset. that in Orange County, California is appreciating at 5% a year historically. I'm just going back. I don't know what the future is going to bring. Is that 110,000 a year?
That's amazing.
Right, 110. So you got 110,000 a year in appreciation potential. We're not guaranteeing anything. We're just kind of throwing a thought process out here.
Yep. But we didn't really hit on forced appreciation. So now what if that primary home, you start renovating, you saved 20,000, you started renovating some of the bathrooms or the kitchens or the landscaping. That appreciation is going to increase even more.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's a good idea. Okay, so now we've got even more appreciation. So think about this. If you're married and just say hypothetically you make 100,000 and your partner makes 100,000 and your house makes 100,000, not bad, right?
Not bad at all.
Right? And we've just laid out this is not pie in the sky stuff. This is realism.
Yes.
Now, if you're at $100,000 a year in appreciation,
what can you do in a couple of years?
What can we do in a couple of years? But do we need to have a 401k? Maybe not.
Yeah.
Right. We're not giving financial advice.
No.
But you need a 401k if you don't have a backup retirement.
Yes.
But if we've got $2 million worth of real estate that's appreciating, and maybe like you said, cash flowing.
Yeah.
I don't need to be drawing on something that when I've already got the checks being put into my account every month.
Yep. And you have that renter, your tenant, that's paying down your debt on your first starter home. And so now think in 30 years when that mortgage is paid off and you're ready to retire, the rents that have increased in 30 years, what you're collecting and putting in your pocket.
So we just talked about that. Rent's going up like 7% according to the shelter costs.
Yes. And during the pandemic, they skyrocketed.
Now, you actually did something a little bit different than this, which might have mitigated a little bit of risk.
Yes.
What did you do? You got into multifamily.
I did. Yes.
Explain that a little bit.
I saw the benefits of collecting rent on a single family home. And I thought, how can I multiply this? Because this is amazing. But if my tenant moves out, I'm stuck with this mortgage payment for the next 30 days. Where if I have a multifamily and I have one tenant move out, I have 3 other tenants that are still covering that mortgage plus some.
So you've minimized the risk because they're not going to all move at one time unless they really don't like you.
Yeah, unless you have a disaster or something
right?
Like that.
We're going to continue this conversation. So we've talked about diplomas, diamonds, and diapers. How does death, divorce, and default fit in? We're going to talk to Ashley about that when we come back. Continuing our conversation, Ashley Frasso is with us. Candace Blair Group at Coldwell Banker is the name of the company.
Nailed it.
Nailed it that time. Down in Laguna Niguel. I see in your site your email thing says Laguna Niguel, and I keep talking about the beach.
Yeah. Well, I live in Laguna Beach,
okay.
but our office is Laguna Niguel.
Someone's got to do it.
Someone's got to do it.
Okay, so let's move on. We got the diploma, the diamonds, and the diapers. That's reasons why people are selling right now. That's why also, so you'll know, when you're thinking about or listening to the news when they're talking about a market crash, not happening in my opinion, and it's not on the horizon. The only reason people are selling houses right now, and I put in our notes, Josh will have to correct this. I put 5 Ds of why people move. Actually should be 6 Ds. I can't count all the way to 6. I had my shoes on at the time. So.
Well, there's only 5 defaults in all of Orange County, so I don't know if it really counts. So
explain that one a little bit.
So, it kind of ties back to earlier what you were talking about the media and truly finding a trusted advisor to tell you what the facts are. The media is portraying that defaults have increased 5 times. Well, realistically, there was 1 default during the pandemic, and now there's 5. So,
oh wow. Huge gain.
Yeah. 5 times. 5 times.
So it's a 500% gain in defaults.
Yes.
And we're all the way up to 5 of them.
5 of them.
For the whole county?
In all of Orange County. Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's amazing. But you look back at the appreciation from 20 to 22, and if people are unable to make their payments, they're selling. But they have equity to roll into either rental and have cushion, or they can purchase a house that's within their budget.
And even if you're in default, there are loans out there that can help you get that, to solve that problem. So if you go to myfavoritelender.net, you'll actually be able to find, we've got an app right there. And our friends at Geneva have every type of loan product you could possibly want. So even one day out of bankruptcy, one day out of default, all those things. The bottom line is if you're in default, get your head out of the sand, right? Talk to a realtor, talk to Ashley.
There's
Right?
options.
There's options.
There's options.
That's the bottom line right there.
Make a plan.
There you go. Make a plan.
Make a plan.
Right? Don't lose all your equity.
Yes.
You don't want to do that. Death and divorce. Those are, well, the death you're not going to sell.
Sometimes.
Your estate might.
Yeah, your estate might. Exactly.
Now, your heirs may want that property to keep it in the family, and in some instances, you may want to be looking at it to give it off to the next generation. You may want to sell it and split the value, or however the estate calls for it.
Exactly. And sometimes they sell one property and the heirs buy multiple other properties.
Interesting. Okay. So there again, if you were with us, I think it was the 1st of February, Alton Moore was with us. He's a CPA. He's a lawyer. We don't give tax advice on Ron Siegel Radio, but Alton does on the side. That's his business, how he feeds his family. And he's a newlywed, so he's got to really work hard now. So the bottom line there is we did do a full broadcast on February 1st on how to deal with that estate and some of the benefits and some of the misconceptions. So check out that broadcast. It's on all of our social channels. We'll get that to you. If you want it, send a message, rj@ronsiegelradio.com, rj@ronsiegelradio.com. Divorce. That's a tough one.
It is, especially today, right?
Especially today, right? But something ironically, I haven't talked to the family lawyers. I should probably talk to them. I never knew that there was a season for divorce.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
Right? So January is actually divorce season. Why is January divorce season?
You made it through the holidays.
Or you didn't get what you wanted through the holidays, right? Might have been a problem during the holidays. But or you wanted to keep that tax status a little bit longer.
There you go.
Right? But divorce, that's a tough one. But you're looking at, again, it's a plan.
It's a plan. Get
a hold of the Divorce Your Mortgage Workbook, my dymworkbook.com, my dymworkbook.com. And, get the divorce professionals involved early. And I'm going to say, you might want to even get them involved before you get the lawyers involved. Because then it might cut down your expensive law of the lawyers. You're not a lawyer, are you?
No.
Okay, so lawyers they might get mad at me. Sometimes they do, and I don't care. Yeah. But the bottom line is, get the plan. Find out, is their property worth keeping?
Yeah.
So you can talk to Ashley about that one.
Of course. Or make a plan, and maybe it's the right time to sell, and each party buys their own house.
Buy their next one.
Yep.
Right. But you have a plan for it. And there again, that's why I talk about our team, the Certified Divorce Lending Professionals. Because do you know that if you put the different information in the lending guidelines call maintenance and spousal support. Now, most of us say they're the same thing, right? But under lending guidelines, they're not. So you want to you want to get that information ahead of time. The equitable settlements. One way you can put it into a buying out the other party in the property, if it's done the right way, you can get a lower interest rate. Think about that. By just terming it the right way in the divorce decree, you're going to get a better interest rate. Most people don't know those things. Got to talk to somebody in advance. The lawyers don't know it because they know law. They don't know lending guidelines.
But you need a plan in advance.
Right. And I say this all the time. Ask me the value of a piece of real estate. I'm going to tell you right off. I know the value of any piece of real estate in the U.S. Call a realtor. Right? Because as a lender, we look backwards. Yep. To refi, we have to look at what's happened in the past. As a realtor, you're looking forward.
Yep.
Right? What can I get for this property? You're going to know that, okay, there's only 5 defaults. You're going to know that, in whatever zip code you're in, how many properties are for sale.
Yeah. And sometimes there's options, the forced depreciation. Maybe it's light remodeling or just a coat of paint that might increase your value $10,000-$20,000.
And that's a big issue right there.
It is, yeah.
So I don't have on my screen right here Laguna, but I've got Newport Beach on my screen.
Okay.
So I know that right now there's 40 properties available in Newport Beach.
Inventory is very low.
Inventory is low.
Yes.
Right. You I don't know if you know the numbers offhand for Laguna, but it's probably not huge.
No. So all of Orange County, there is 1,500 active. So to have a balanced market, so that's still a seller's market because inventory is just anemic.
Right.
To have a balanced market, you're right around 5,500.
5,500.
5,500.
Okay, so it's it's minimal.
It's very minimal.
Now I'm just looking up. I did get the report for Laguna. So there's, as of today, there are 72 properties available for sale in all of Laguna Beach. Right? Not a lot. So you've got to know that stuff. So when the realtors understand that and they see what's coming onto the market and they see what's being absorbed into the market, they can tell you, we got a price. We can go more aggressive.
Yep.
Or we've got to be more conservative in our pricing.
Yes. Pricing is key when selling a home.
And you want to get it done the right way, because
you
don't want to overprice and then have people no one showing up to see it.
Yep.
Now, do you do mostly in price? Are you doing mostly listing side, or you do mostly buying side?
Our team does mostly listings.
Mostly listing. Okay.
Yep.
So,
but I love helping the buyers get
that's
in.
always fun. Right?
It is, yes.
I've said many times that the agents have as leading a lending team, we get to say you're approved, and generally we do that. We never, other than fraud, we don't turn anybody down. We have to put them on a game plan or they're approved, one or the other. But as a realtor, it's got to be so gratifying and exciting handing somebody the keys to their new property.
It is, yes. It's such a nerve-wracking time, and as a realtor, we take advantage because we do so many transactions. But to see somebody in their first home and see the ins and outs of their home and get the keys and start planning where they're going to put their couch and their TV, and it's wonderful.
Yeah, that's an exciting time for anybody, because I'll say it like it is, which I always do. Buying a house is nerve-wracking, right? You've got, did I buy it right? Did I pay too much? Did I pay too little? What color am I going to make this room? Where's Johnny's room going to be? All these different things. The lender needs another document from me, right? Escrow wants this and that.
It is a stressful time, but if you have a full-time professional realtor that's helping you, they can take a lot of that stress away.
And as a team, you probably have that. You've probably seen almost everything.
Yes, definitely.
Now, I'll throw this at you. I know the answer.
Uh-oh.
So more often than not, the professionals that I talk to, they tell me that every transaction has a speed bump.
Yes.
But as a full-time group of people, a full-time team, you probably know how to navigate those speed bumps.
We absorb the speed bump.
Right.
We try not to pass that speed bump along to our clients.
And that's the whole idea right there, is having somebody that really knows what they're doing, is they know how to deal with these things. It's not something that, they've kind of planned that if this, then that, right?
Yeah. You always have a plan.
Always have a plan. So if you want some more information on this, if you want more information on the Laguna Niguel area or Laguna Beach, I like the area. I like the beach. I'm partial to the beach. Give me a call. I'll put you in touch with Ashley and her team. You can call me at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990.